Hello, 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 everybody. How are you guys doing today?
Hello, hello. Very well. How are you?
Hey guys.
All good? How's your day?
Good.
It's been a good day.
So far, so good.
Very nice, very nice. Let's double check here to see if we are live. We should be live on YouTube. Let's check. And Facebook, X, and Instagram. But let's check and then, can make sure. Yes, JL, you're always very fast. Okay, we're live on YouTube. Can somebody comment if we are live on Facebook, X, or if you see us on Instagram? So we're sure we're live. Yes, this is our AMA. Remember to ask all your questions. Put them in the comment field right now, and then let's see. Let's give it a few minutes to make sure everybody are ready. Let's double check here. Are we live on X also? I think we are.
I don't see it on Instagram.
Oh, okay. I'm sure they will check here too. Let's see. I'm sure the team behind they will log in. So it's Christian in the past. Okay, that's good. Start asking all your questions, and let's start answering in a few minutes. Maybe type in, as usual, where you're from, how's your trading going today, and let me start asking, did you trade during the election?
And how many people are holding Bitcoin?
Yeah, that's the big question, right? Somebody's also talking about, is it a good idea to hold Tesla now, since Elon Musk is moving closer and closer, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
but let's see. Let's ask the community. So, yeah, please type in where are you from, and in a few minutes we will start the stream. We'll start the stream already, but start answering questions. So, Dale, you didn't trade during election, and let me know the big reason. US, you in Mississippi, and James, you're from Prague. Okay, cool, nice meeting you. Nigeria. It's good. Let's give it one more minute and see. We just started the live
While we
stream.
wait, Christian, did you trade during the election?
Yes, yes, I did. Don't ask me how it went. No. I'm trying to. I try to base my trading on probability, and for the probability to work and the calculation to work out, I have to trade every day. So that's the strategy. So good and bad. So
yeah, I'm sure you can also tailor your risk a little bit during these times. It doesn't mean you don't have to trade, but you can also adjust your position size and such.
Yeah, absolutely. But I expected it should be more crazy, and I was like, I saw the market. Okay, I'm only trading Nasdaq, and I saw that everything was moving very slow during the day. Right?
It's pretty calm.
Yeah, and it was going up. Okay, there was a little at the end of the day. Okay, we are in Europe, so when I say at the end of the day, it's European time zone. But yeah. But after the election.
Yeah, I mean, I heard a lot of people say, especially for Bitcoin and like kind of more mainstream stocks, that like a Trump win was already fairly priced in. But then like the closer it got to that being the confirmed result, like the more crazy the market went, it just kept going up. So it wasn't priced in after all.
I think just looking at our traders, our funded traders on FunderPro, we didn't have any crazy losses, and we didn't have many people who got crazy payouts. So like too much risk put on and then big wins. So it seemed calm enough from our perspective.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. Okay, so now we have 30 people here, or maybe a little bit more. That's cool. Let's. So it is our AMA, right? So everybody watching right now, feel free to ask. Okay, FunderPro, just awesome. A-book club. That's a statement. Cool. Feel free also to ask questions. But yes,
It's a comment, so it counts.
Oh, a comment, yes.
Yeah, we'll take comments like that all day. No problem.
Thanks for sharing this. Okay. Let's see if we can find some other questions. JL, you normally always have a question. So what do you have in mind today? Feel free to type in. In the meantime, remember at the end of this AMA, normally, I'm not sure we'll do today, but normally we'll run a giveaway. But you have to ask a question before. Don't forget that. So yeah, feel free to ask. Okay, what else, Tim? From a tech point of view, I mean, you've been very busy. You're always busy, but what happened?
I think
the last couple of days?
Christmas is coming early this year.
They're really trying to get Christmas out of the way early so we can enjoy our own Christmas. No, so this week, the big obvious one that I'm sure everyone will have heard of is we now offer CTrader. That's something we turned live on Tuesday morning. So obviously TradeLocker is still here, still as popular as ever, but now we can also choose to trade on CTrader. So essentially all of the same challenges, same challenge types, account sizes, conditions, but you now have the choice between TradeLocker and CTrader. Beyond that, for anyone in the Middle East and North Africa, the app now speaks Arabic as well. So last week we released the translation into Arabic, and this week we followed up by localizing the app. So before it was the same layout, but it read left to right. But as of I think yesterday or Tuesday this week, the app now is actually localized, so everything is mirrored into right to left, and a few other things to make it more native to those used to the language. Another thing, we already talked about this, I think, in the last 1 or 2 AMAs, and I know Alex also sent out an email explaining how everything works. But we now have a suite of products to help people trade and just educate themselves about their trading a little bit better.
So FunderPro Lab,
we call FunderPro Lab, exactly. Yeah. So I encourage you to check it out. It's available in the customer dashboard. But in short, it's, for example, in the economic calendar. So it keeps you up to date on any news events, expected outcome or expected impact on different assets. An asset overview tool, especially for those that trade Forex. It gives you a great breakdown of the different assets that there are. Current market sentiment, if it's been bullish, bearish, kind of in the middle, if it's been volatile, if it's being talked about, and so on. Just a great way to complement your trading strategy and keep up to date with market news. And the last one is what we think is, or what we've seen so far as the most popular one, is what we named trade validation. It's a way whenever you come up with a trade idea yourself, obviously it is not comprehensive, but it covers a changing range of assets. So every day, a team of analysts come up with some thesis or ideas that you can use to compare against your own and kind of validate your own ideas that you have. So especially if you're a little unsure about your idea or you have your own thesis, you can check out those ideas and compare if they make sense to you, if there's confluence, and then have a little bit more confidence to take a trade or decide not to take it. Yeah, I think so far we've actually seen around 20% of all traders look at this once. So it's really gaining popularity, and I think it's quite a strong tool. So I'd really recommend everyone to check that out.
Yeah, it's a very good idea, right?
Yeah, it's great to see, and I think Tim, you did a really nice report about it, and the trade analysis tool seems to be the highest used. So people are trying to do validations on their trades and making sure that the positions that they're placing are the, I guess, going in line with sentiment and going in line with other analysis. So really good to see people are getting value from that. So good.
You know, another thing I was thinking about is that we talked about it before, that trading is extremely lonesome. And when you place a trade, many times you would probably, should I not? It would be nice if I had somebody I could share my strategy with, or should I take it or not? So one thing is FunderPro Lab, but also during this week, actually yesterday, we launched our FunderPro TV, our live stream, we just started yesterday, but that's another opportunity for you. We will stream a couple of hours here in the beginning, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So tune in. It's normally during the US, when the US market open. And feel free to comment, join this live stream every day. We will scale it step by step and stream more and more and more, because we know that many of you are sitting out there by yourself, and it can be lonesome, but it can also maybe be a situation where you want to ask about something. So there will be pro traders on, and feel free to ask them anything. So have that in mind as well. It's 3 times a week in the beginning, and then we will scale it afterwards. Okay, any questions here? Do you find any questions in the chat?
Yeah, I think we got some questions coming in.
So
here's one from James. Yeah, so there's a lot of talk about regulation, especially in the EU. What sort of regulation are you anticipating? Yeah, look, I guess is something that we're keeping a very strong eye on, and we're talking to a lot of localized lawyers around the world just to get an understanding, I guess, across the world, what's the sentiment with local regulators. Right now, it's still quite unclear. You know, I think that there's obviously very formed regulation around brokers and how they operate. While we don't see that exactly covering prop firms, you know, I guess it's kind of a guidance around, you know, some of the things that could be looked at. But at the end of the day, you know, generally regulators are focused on trader protection, and, you know, again, I suppose going off of FunderPro and what we believe in and what we really try and do consistently is just find ways to protect the trader and to try and have a mutually beneficial scenario where the trader wins when we win. So, you know, I think the best thing we can do for now as we continue is monitor the situation, speak as much as we can to local lawyers, and just make sure that we have the best environment that we can for traders to do their best. So, yeah, that's how we're focused on it. Yeah.
So another good question here is, let me see if I can find it. Somebody was asking about, oh, here it is. Do you able people from day one?
Yep. Yeah. So everybody from every trade, as soon as they're funded, of course, gets sent to the market. So yeah, right now our strategy is and always has been to send every single trade to the market. So yeah, that includes day one. We don't, you know, we're not waiting to see if somebody's profitable or unprofitable to send it out. Yeah, so we've always sent trades to market.
I can also say, if you're watching on YouTube, maybe some of the other platforms as well, under the video there's a link for our futures trading waiting list. It's coming soon, so if you like to trade futures, then click this link, join our waiting list, and we will notify you very, very soon when we are ready. So yeah. Okay, let's see if we can find another good question. Okay, so somebody's asking, what if, let's say, a trader lose the account? What will happen if I lose the account? Let's say I'm passing the challenge, I'm getting funded with 100K, and I lose the account. What will happen?
Well, unfortunately, if you've lost the account, we've lost money, which is the first thing. So yeah, unfortunately, obviously losing the account means that you've hit drawdown. Hitting drawdown means that we've lost the money on the account, and so yeah, the account gets closed once you breach any of the hard criteria. Effectively then, yeah. So effectively then, you know, and I guess here's here's the thing for ourselves. Our goal is to work with safe, consistent traders. And so, what we would urge people at the end of the day, we're not looking for the type of trading where somebody is going to buy 10 accounts, pass 3, and blow up 2 of them to make a bit of profit on one of them. That's a strategy that just doesn't work in an A-book business model. And so we would just kind of urge people not to take that strategy, going through the challenges and blowing up accounts. The goal here is, use the real funds and respect real funds. And so, as you're going through, treat it like your own money, and just, aim not to kill those accounts. But yeah, unfortunately, sometimes, you're going to hit drawdown, the account will close. A lot of traders do then go ahead and try again. But yeah, as we said, just don't go into that cycle of blowing accounts and trying to make a little bit of money at the expense of a lot of blown funded accounts.
Okay, somebody is asking this one. What is the limit of 200K accounts a single person can buy? So what is the max capital we allow at the moment? I know the same person asked about if they can use different strategies, the same strategy on different accounts at the same time. So let's talk about the first thing, max capital at the moment. What is this?
Petros.
I was waiting for Christian to answer the question. That's why I didn't interfere.
Okay, the 200K, we have a 200K max capital at the moment. And yes, you see it all over. Maybe other props have other numbers. We have 200K, and of course, it's a way we can manage risk at the same time. So if you buy a 200K, you can max be funded and be in the real life market with a 200K at this moment. You can decide later on, maybe you want to have 200K challenges, but that's up to you. So the number is 200K.
Here's an interesting question.
I'm finding the best strategy. Okay, read it. So many traders focus on finding the best strategy. How important do you think strategy is compared to mindset and discipline? That's a good one.
Yeah. So I think it's an interesting question. And it's kind of, of course, they're all totally linked. Assuming you have the best strategy, and I'm sure there is no such thing as the best strategy. But there are good strategies and bad strategies, of course. How does it compare to mindset and discipline? I guess you need all 3, I guess, is the main thing. But if you've got a bad strategy, I think it doesn't really matter how disciplined or how good a mindset you have, it won't work. And of course, if you've got a great strategy, still you need the right mindset and the right discipline to make it work. So I would say there's quite a balance. But Christian, I guess in your time of trading, is there one way that it sways versus the other, do you think?
I think it was one time a broker released some data. They analyzed a lot of trades, and they found out that people are winning more than they're losing if you look at how many trades they take. But when they lose too much. So let's say you have the best strategy and you're winning 4 out of 5 trades, but trade number 5 is you're losing so much that you're gonna basically close the account. Then it is a combination, right? So if you can't control the mindset in the last trade, but you could in the other 4, you will lose no matter what. So I would absolutely say it's a combination.
Yeah, and I'd say what I'd add, and I don't know if the discipline is risk management or risk management is a 4th thing on its own. But yeah, I think to your point, Christian, it's like, making sure that you're managing your risk effectively is probably the most important of these, I would suggest. Because as you say, making sure knowing when to cut your losses and move on and take your wins when you can and cutting your losses when you should, and managing the size of those trades, because the biggest issue that we see with traders is just way too much exposure on the market, and so small changes can have huge effects when you're very leveraged. So just making sure that actually you're managing your risk effectively.
I was writing down here 4 things. It was a note I gave myself, I think, a couple of years ago. It's risk management, it's probability calculation, it's strategy, and then it's mindset. And it's a combi of those 4 things.
Yeah.
Okay, let's find another one. Let's see. Somebody was asking regarding futures. Let me see if I can find a question here. It's a good question, right? Are you guys going to do daily payouts in the futures too? Petrus, we have talked a lot about it.
So the general answer is that we are working into having a path to have that. Most probably do not be on the day one, because fundamentally the risk management and the product is different from the existing asset class that we are offering. But we are working already on a path to have this in the near future.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, and I think it is a really good question, and daily payouts on our FX side is something we really pride ourselves on here. I guess the main thing as well, and it makes a huge difference to everybody here, is also making sure that we've got a strong, stable business. That being the case, our goal is not to come out to the market and have a big splash and look so incredible from day one that everybody floods to us and we cause ourselves too much risk. Our goal here is to go into the market, to learn, to provide as good a product as we can, and then sustainably get better and better and better. Because that's the way then that us having a healthy business means that we can support you and give the best service and product that we can to you. So that's generally our approach. That's been our approach with FunderPro to date. And so it's go in, learn as much as we can, improve.
You will also see that short after we have launched futures, that we will reach out to you, all traders who has been taking a challenge, invite you for a Zoom call. We'll find a way to communicate, and then just with you try to fine tune maybe the offering to understand that what you need and what is sustainable for the long run. And in the same moment, don't forget, under this video there's a link to our waiting list for our futures setup, if you can say it like this. So click the link, join our waiting list so we can notify you the moment we're live. Okay, what else can we find? Feel free to type in your questions here. I can see the team is answering back. It's very good. Okay, somebody was saying here, for me, mindset is 75% of trading. Okay, let me ask you, so what do you do to train your mindset? Let me ask in another way. How many hours did you spend on trading, learning to trade, and how many hours did you spend on your mindset?
Yeah, and it's funny, what I'd say is that sounds like a person who's, I guess, probably already got a good strategy. Because I think it's almost from what I hear from a lot of traders, the journey goes, I spent 1 year, 2 years getting a good strategy, and then from 2 years onwards they're focusing on their mindset. It seems to be a very common theme that I hear when we're doing funded trader interviews and speaking to other traders.
Okay, this one here is a good one, because so when we A-book you guys, what benefits do you have? First of all, who want to take this?
I can take that.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, we aim, and I think there was a question earlier today about our profit target, which is, it can be quite higher than some of the other firms, and these are actually correlated. I think the team already answered, but I will start by saying that we have in the past be very open that we are actually aiming to be a little bit more difficult, let's call it, and strict into our rules on the demo challenge, because we are fully booking and fully sending all the trades to the market. So we are actually aiming for consistent and profitable traders. That's our strategy, actually. So one of the big benefits that a book provides, apart from transparency, obviously, right, is that any kind of profit generated and profit split that has to be sent to the trader is actually being generated from the market itself, right? So that's the number one. Number two is actually transparency, and I think these two are way more than enough.
The good thing is also when you get daily payouts and then you request your payout, meaning that if you're up on your first trade when you get funded, then you can request a payout the same day, a very fast payout, and you can get your registration fee back. So it's a very good package to deal with. Okay, JL here was saying 600 hours on mindset. And JL, how many hours on trading? Let's combine. Let's compare and see.
Let's see how much you sleep.
So if it's a 75% mindset, are we talking about you should spend 200 hours on trading and then 600 on mindset? Let's see what you would say. Okay, let's find another good one here. Let's see. I would say that also we are planning to have a guest in probably 15 minutes. So stay with us.
Nice.
Let's see. So type in your questions. First of all, where you're from. Now more and more people are joining. It's very good. Please type in where you're from. Let's see where people are from.
It's this one kind of jumped out at me here, and I think it's quite interesting. I make 1 to 2K profit easily, but how to make 20K plus, how to train the mind to earn big profits. You know, it's quite a, and I guess I don't know how quickly the 1 and 2K comes, whether it's a daily or a weekly or a monthly. But, you know, I think the main thing to remember is those 2Ks turn into 20K over time. And, you know, the most money that we see people making is when they're consistent longer term and they make the profits consistently. And I think it's like anything in life, it just compounds. And so the more consistent that you can be, the more likely you are to get to that 20K and not stick at the 1 or 2. And I think, you know, if you can continuously make that 1K, you don't really need to train your mind and get distracted by trying to make 20K all in one go, all in one big payout. Just take those small, consistent gains and just consistently compound the effort over time. And I think that's the way, you know, that you're going to make 20K and beyond if you can just stick to it and just work through week in, week out, month in, month out.
I would also say create a lifestyle where you don't depend on the 20K. So find a job, have a job that can pay your bills. So when you go into trading, you don't need the money. So if you plan to give your wife your credit card right now, that would be extra press. I've seen it work for other people. I've seen that, but I will not recommend it at all. It's normally not working. So get a job and make sure trading is just for fun, so you can go relaxed into it and more easy accept when you lose. And over time, you will learn to lose, and here you will start winning.
Yeah. I think I was listening to something yesterday, and it was talking about that, Christian, I guess, and not having to rely on it. And they were saying that, you know, like in anything, if you're creating or you're doing work, you know, the right amount of pressure is kind of in that middle. So you've zero pressure, you know, you're just going into it to play around. You know, it's no good. If you're too stressed, so if you feel, oh my God, I need to make this much, that's no good either. You're looking for that kind of sweet spot in the middle. One where you're setting yourself a goal. You know, it's not crazy ambitious. You know that you can achieve it, but you know that it's not going to stretch you. You know that it's possible. That's the sweet spot for trading, so that you're going to be, you know, you're going to have something to focus and work towards, and you got a little bit of stress there. You got a little bit of focus, enough to keep you focused, and then, you know, not enough to tip you over the edge.
That's funny. Let me ask everybody, have you noticed when you buy a challenge, let's say you're comfortable trading a 50K account, the moment you take a 10K account, then you're like, oh, it's nothing. And then you have another trading style, much more relaxed. And the moment you, they say, go for a 200K account, then you know that this number is so much bigger than what your mind can handle or take. So you're much more stressed, and often you fail this one. Try to type in. All of us, we probably have a number we can manage, and of course we want to increase this number so we can trade more and more. But everybody got a number. That's very funny. So what's your number? Type that in. Okay, let's find another one. Let's find another question here.
I think there's a quick one I saw a bit above. What was it? Will you get angry if a person consistently has 30K payouts? Would that make you angry?
Oh, so somebody put it on the screen if you can. I don't know if you can. Let me see. Okay, say it again, please. Which one? So if I
yeah, from 5:27 p.m. Will you get angry if a person consistently has 30K payouts?
Angry.
There you go.
No, now I get it. Now I get it. I'm getting asked that all the time. Yeah, in the expos.
I'm looking at that picture, and I think that's how I would feel if I was paying a 30K payout every day. I would feel very peaceful. It would be
soaring
like
through the skies.
Yeah, be soaring. Yeah. No.
Look, you were asked that in Dubai, Gary, a lot, right? People are coming to us and ask because this is how some props are doing it in the industry. But give us our take. What would happen if a trader come to us week after week and request 30K?
Yeah. So okay, I've got two answers for this. Right. First things first. I'd be very happy if somebody consistently could come with 30 grand payouts. Because right, if you request 30K payout, you keep 80, we keep 20. So you're keeping 24, we're keeping 6. So if you're coming consistently, we're earning each time. Now, the only thing that I would say is a 30K payout means you're not using daily payouts or multiple times a day payouts. It looks like you're taking a lot of risk, because if you're hitting 30K payout with us, you don't have to wait 2 weeks for a payout. So if somebody hits 30 grand in a payout, they've taken a lot of risk to get there. So what I would say on that side of it is we're very happy to pay and love pressing the button to do a payout when traders make a profit. But also I would say make sure to manage your risk effectively, because what does make me angry is when I see somebody coming in and on the first day of their funded account, they lose 10K on a 200K account, and then they blow the account. That's not so nice to see, because then that means that 10K is lost. So very happy to pay out a consistent trader. The traders that we see that are just consistently making good money, and more consistently, we're paying out $600, $800, but sometimes that's multiple times a day to the same trader. And then over a couple of days and a couple of weeks, that is 30K. And we're very happy for that trader to have paid them 30K. But it's safer and it's more consistent, and they're just taking those smaller risks and making those profits, and then everybody's happy.
Somebody's asking about, does futures have a swing platform? Look, at the moment we are looking into, of course, what's being offered in the industry and come up with the best offering for you. But when you say swing, meaning that you can't hold a trade more than 1 day, because that's normally not what you see with futures prop firms. Normally it's intraday trading. But please text comment on this one. Okay, this one is another one. Do you know this one? I'm not 100% sure I can remember this one. What's the highest amount of payout a single trader got? I still remember there was one guy from China, right, who got 144K.
Yeah, so that guy made that over
3, 4 weeks.
Yeah, 3-4 weeks when gold was going crazy. I'm just gonna see if we can. So it might actually be cool. I think I can upload a screenshot here. Can I?
You can share your screen if you want.
Well, I think there's a little bit too much information to share.
Okay.
It might have people's information on it, but I can share a little bit. Actually, do you know what I can do? I can put that onto that screen over there, and then I can share the screen.
That's smart.
So,
I'll put it up. Let's see.
Well, I can see here.
So just to give an idea, I've just taken a screenshot of our funded trader admin. So these are all the payouts, the amount requested, and then the trader share. These are the payouts since yesterday at 4 p.m. So since that,
so how many? So this trader got all those payouts in more or less one day?
No. This is across everybody. So these are just the last 20 requested payouts that we've had. So yeah, but it's just showing like, you know, okay, there are a couple of big ones there, about 3,000, 2,000. But yeah, it's a lot of traders just making, like, even you see here, you know, $63, $71, $125, $189. People just locking in those trades and steadily and consistently making those profits.
That's cool.
So pretty nice.
So the answer is request a lot of payouts. Don't go for the big one. Take a lot of small payouts.
Yeah.
Over time, that will add up, and you'll probably sit back with a big amount. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, take advantage of daily payouts.
Okay. Yes, it was a little difficult to see, but it's okay. Let's see.
Shit.
Any other questions?
Okay.
No, it's cool. It's cool. And probably people are watching on the mobile phone. So
maybe, yeah.
So okay. Any other questions? Let's see that soon we will have a guest. I think let's double check this one.
So somebody is asking, can we choose CTrader when we buy a challenge now? So I guess, Tim, maybe this is one for you, because there is a little bit of a nuance around CTrader and the jurisdictions.
That's right. Yeah. So CTrader is offered broadly to our customer base, except in the United States. So it's available to all countries except the United States. But for those that can access it, you would see a new little field in your checkout process. At the top, you can pick a challenge type and your account size as before. And now you would see a new selector called Select Platform. And there you simply choose either TradeLocker or CTrader. Conditions and available types and account sizes the same across both platforms. It's just up to you which one you prefer to trade on.
Very cool. Okay, this one here's another one. How many accounts can I buy per time?
Yeah, you can. Technically, there is no limit. What I would say though is, again, you know, the same way as you're going through your funded account and treating the challenges the same, just making sure that you're focusing on it. Obviously, if you're if you're just trying to arbitrage and try a load of different strategies on different accounts, then likely when you get funded, you're not going to be as steady and careful and safe. So what I'd say is, you know, just take the right amount of challenges that, you know, you can focus on, you can put your efforts into, and actually work towards having a safe and consistent trading pattern.
Somebody is asking here. I can see futures on your site. Please help. Yes, it has not been launched yet. Please go to FunderProFutures.com. You will find a waiting list. Sign up. So we have your details, and we will notify you when it's ready. Another one is asking here, which account is best, 100K or 200K? They're both very good.
Well, if you reach to the funded stage, 200K should be better for you, presumably.
Absolutely.
Right?
Somebody said some time ago, I mean, we're coming back to the mindset. So if it's difficult for you to manage a 100K account, because when you open a trade, suddenly you see you're making a lot of money, you're up, you're down on the chart. Look, find an account size where you can manage what you see the numbers. The good thing with a 200K, if you pass a 200K challenge, you could basically act as if it was a 100K account, so you will be in a better position. Don't open too big position. Open a position so it was a 100K account, but you are on a 200K account. Then you will have a higher chance you will keep it for longer.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see now, you know, we have a guest stand by. So I think we should bring him on. Maybe some of you know him. Let's bring him on. Hello, hello. Hey, Solo, how are you?
Hey.
Oh, I think you're muted so far. Let's see if we can get the audio going. Let's see.
All right, how about now?
Perfect.
Yeah, now you're good.
That's great. How are you doing?
I am doing well. How about yourself?
All good, thanks. All good. I think you've met Gary, Petrus. Have you met Tim before as well?
Yeah, I think I met everybody here. I believe so.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, really great to see you again.
Yeah, it's great to see you again.
Yeah. How's your trading going?
Good, man. So you guys know what happened with the election the other day.
How was yesterday? Yeah.
But I missed out pretty much on all of that. And I know earlier I was actually in, I think this was on Monday, I was in a gold setup for a sale. And I was like, you know what, election's coming. Let me actually get out this because it's too unpredictable. And I ended up closing out that trade, I believe, on like the Tuesday or something like that. And looking earlier, or yesterday, I'm just like, what? I would have had, yeah, this is crazy. So I basically missed out on a lot of this opportunity. So it was pretty wild, but yeah.
I think maybe something that might be cool to hear. So I think every single trader that's here will have felt that feeling if they're doing the right thing, because it's like if you're doing good risk management, you're gonna feel that feeling of, oh, shit, I should have stayed in that trade. Look how much money I would have made. But then the other times, you know, when the trade goes against you, it just, then you're happy, you know? So I guess, like, how in your head do you balance that?
Oh man, so it's a mental thing for me. But it's really a set in stone process that I follow. So for me, I've been doing this for 6 years now, and one thing I learned is just stick to your plan regardless of whatever is going to happen in the market. And I knew when I tried this last year when it came to big news events or anything like that, I told myself, like, you know what? I am not going to force myself into something that I don't know 100% where it's going to go. So one thing that I like to do, and I pretty much did, was that where I'm like, you know what? Let me not trade this during the election day. However, looking at it, I'm like, dang, I wish I was in it. but it goes right back to pretty much just disciplining yourself, just following those steps that you've written down or you put in your computer. You just got to make sure you stick to that plan, because without that, you're just going to be all over the place. So I guess the key thing is really just sticking to your plan and really locking in and being disciplined. And that's really the hardest thing as a trader, literally. But that's the main part, the main factor of being that consistent, profitable trader.
Are you still trading the same thing like you did when you started? Or what were you into Forex first,
Yeah,
and then maybe you moved to what?
you know what's funny? I started trading gold first, and I'm back to trading gold now. So
okay, and what happened in between? So you went from gold to Forex pairs, and then
so I started with gold, and then I got into Forex pairs, and I realized Forex pairs were just a little too slow for me. So then I discovered indices. And I was like, oh. So then that's when I got into like NASDAQ, US 30, S&P. And then I discovered something called oil, and I was like, oh. And it kind of was a mixture of indices and Forex, just pretty much in that realm. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with oil. And then from oil, I went right back to gold again. The reason why I stopped with the gold is because it was too much manipulation going for me, and I just didn't see any opportunity for me to take based off of my setups and pretty much how I like to trade in my style. So that's kind of the reason why I stepped back from gold, but then getting right back in tune, I'm like, you know what? Gold is actually a good, decent asset for me to trade based off of my style. Let's get right back to it. So that's kind of what happened with me.
So for everybody watching now, they're probably thinking, so what is your style? So if you can explain it in a simple way.
So I'm a scalper. Basically, I only like to pay attention to one session now, and this session is New York session for me. So as a scalper, I'm just looking for my setups in a 5-minute time frame, 15-minute time frame, and I'm looking for the entries roughly around that same time frame. But I would guess you say my style is scalping. My strategy is literally pull back continuation, and that's it. Literally it.
Fair value gap, like ICT style, you're waiting for it during the opening, and then or what?
Nope. So I have the most fundamental. I have the most fundamental style ever. But honestly, we can elaborate on it more in details for sure. If you guys want, I can definitely get into details. But just to really sum it up, it is as simple as once I identify my range, which is identifying the A point and the B point, which is really the beginning of the trend and the end of the trend. I then measure that using my Fibonacci point retracement.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people will call this the equilibrium level, which is that 50% mark.
Yes.
I wait for it to tap into that. And anything under that 50% mark, I call valid levels. So I know with ICT, smart money concept, there's a lot of different terminologies out there. I just literally say anything under or above, depending on which way I'm trading, at 50%, at that 50% mark, anything under that is a valid POI level, point of interest level for me. And if it taps into that level, I'll wait on price action patterns like a double bottom, engulfing candle, and then I take my buy. And then depending on how far it retraced, I usually would take my TP because I usually do multiple TPs. So my first TP, will usually be at that B point or that end point of the trend. My second TP would be at a Fibonacci extended level, which is like a negative 27. And then my third TP would be at another Fib extension level, which is a negative 618. And that's pretty much how I'm trading it.
And where is your stop in this situation?
My stops is usually 10, 15 pips below resting the liquidity, basically liquidity zone. So if I have a POI level at 100, but I see liquidity has been swept at like let's say 95, then I'll take my stop loss to about 94 or something like that.
Okay,
and
cool, man. Cool. Yeah. And how many trades do you place a day? I mean, and what period are you watching? So when the market opens, are you sitting there for what, half an hour, and just waiting for the momentum, and then in and out, and then that's it?
Yeah, no, literally. So this varies a lot because I have a pretty intense risk management strategy. And with my risk management strategy, I like to do it two ways. The first way is I like to get in multiple trades at the same time, roughly around that same entry. And once TP1 hits, I'll exit out that one trade. Once TP2 hits, I'll exit out the next trade. But as the trade is basically routing to TP1 to TP2 and TP3, I'm also adjusting my stop loss. Cool thing about Trade Locker is they have this cool feature where you can come in here and you can pretty much put your percentage of what you want to overall risk. Makes life way easier. And then you can set that and then it'll just pretty much do everything for you. So that's kind of the thing I do. I like to take multiple trades, right? And then I'll route one to TP1 that can move to break even or a little profit. Take the next one to TP2, same thing. Take the next one to TP3. That's the first option I do. The other option that I utilize is basically all in none. Is where I'm just like, all right, let me just do one big lot. If I see a setup, one big lot, TP1 in and out, and that's it.
Okay. So when you open many trades, how you must have a number in your head that's saying, oh, I will not risk more than what 1%, 1.5%, 0.5% of your account. How do you manage this, or what is the number you say? Okay, I will max want to risk this in one setup.
So I have like this trading plan that I follow. This is like what I like to keep stationary in front of me, just to stay disciplined. And basically in this trading plan, it has a risk percent and also like a compound strategy. And within my risk percent, I'm usually anywhere from overall 15 to 30%. Now, of course, with FunderPro dealing with the prop firm obviously is different, right?
Yeah.
So you can't go 15, 30%. But the way around that is you have to understand, one, what the rules are, two, understand what your strategy is, because once again, for me, the cool thing about how I like going about it in the prop firm side is I'm not risking no more than 2% overall, not per trade, not per lot or anything like it's overall. So if I'm essentially looking at the market and I see that this could be a potential, let's say, day for me to make multiple trades or get in multiple trades, I am now going to set myself up to say, all right, look, 2% is my overall. So if I get in one trade and I'm like, dang, I see another setup, I'm willing to get in another trade as long as I'm not maxing out that 2%. So I usually go this route a lot just because it helps maximize my account faster. And I'm confident enough to say this, and I'm comfortable to say this because this is just a skill set that I built and a strategy that I built over my 6 years where I'm like, look, I'm willing to risk way more than what the norm would probably do, you know? And that's kind of like really pretty much how I map it down. But on a prop firm, yes, 2% is where I'm at, you know, overall.
That's very cool. Look, from the day you started until now, what has changed? I mean, in the beginning, you were probably not profitable. You were probably like everybody else trying and trying to understand. But what was the point where you understood, okay, now it's working for me?
Man, the moment I really started locking in and being disciplined. And it's hard to say, I mean, we all hear that, like saying where, yeah, I know discipline is this. But I will tell you, like, the moment I started my very first prop firm challenge, it changed everything. It changed my whole perspective of how to look at risk, how to look at risk tolerance, how to look at everything, right? And when that happened, I'm like, yo, I need to start writing things down. So me writing things down put me in a better room mentally to actually sit here and visually see it and say, all right, I can't go past 5% or I can't have this daily drawdown. I have to stick to this plan. And within me creating that, my next problem, which was the biggest problem, is trying to stay focused to this. You know, sometimes we'll see it, but then sometimes we do something else. It's kind of like if our parents were to tell us to go do something, we don't do it. You know, what happens? We get in trouble, right? And it's just like, it is what it is. But it's the same thing in trading, right? You have to be disciplined to yourself. So I read a lot of books. I go to the gym. I will say, especially for any human being, the gym is probably one of the best ways to get that discipline right, because it's something where you don't really want to do, but you know you have to do it because it obviously is a good physical thing for you and a mental thing for you. And I feel like that mindset can push you in the trading side as it did for me. And it just makes me realize, like, all right, yeah, it's time for me to really lock in, really lock in, really lock in. So I would definitely say the discipline part is the big trust, is really the big factor into this. And then also just trusting yourself. You have to trust yourself, you know, and that comes from building the actual skill and just practicing. Back test, back test, back test, back test. LeBron James isn't who he is if he wasn't practicing. You know, Kobe, same thing. Like practice, 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 practice. That's the only way. Only way.
So the big question, it is, after 6 years, you follow your plan, you know you did it exactly as you planned, and you still lost. How do you manage your emotions in this situation?
Yeah, I just get off the computer. I
Okay,
have to.
run. You just run forced, and then that's it.
No,
No, because
literally.
you can be. There's so many times that you did everything right, you follow your plan, this is what, and you still lost, and next day you lose again, and again, and again, and again.
I see.
What
Yeah.
would you,
So
what would your advice be to people, to traders in this situation?
100%. It's just something. It could be two things. It can be a couple things, but the major two things is one, what basically made you get in this trade? Did you follow your plan? Did you actually follow your plan to the T? If you did, then this part is fine. But if you did not, then you have to go back, ask yourself, and really ask yourself, why did I get in this setup if I knew this wasn't part of my plan? Right. The next part is, let's say you followed everything locked in, and you're like, all right, look, I don't know what's going on. It's literally the strategy and the market condition at the time. Because the thing is, my strategy and the reason why I only use it to trade indices is because it's volatile. It's trendy. It's always going up or it's always going down. It's never going sideways as much. So you have to pay attention to that, because there's sometimes where I will have a really good week and I'm like, yo, what happened? And then I try to use my strategy next week and it's just like really shitty. And it's really because of the condition of the market. So ask yourself that question. What happened in the market this week from last week? If you can realize that, oh, this was a trend, or, oh, it was correction or consolidation, then there's your answer. Then you know that there's nothing wrong with your strategy. It's just the market shifted, and this happens all the time, literally. So it's really one of those two, and that's really all it is.
Awesome.
If you practice your strategy enough to know that it is profitable.
Cool. Makes sense. Look, I know you don't have so much time. Gary Peters, feel free to ask. I think we only have you, a couple of more minutes before we will run a giveaway at the end here. Anything you guys want to ask before we, what's in your mind? Gary, I can see you're sitting there and thinking.
No, well, I was just, I was more so seeing if any of our audience would like to ask questions, because I think, you know, it's obviously I've known you for quite a while, Solo, and you're a well of information. So I think there's a lot of people here who could get a lot of information from you. So yeah, if we can ask the audience, and if they have any questions.
What's your YouTube? Where can people find you? Somebody's asking here, what's your YouTube?
Solo ETV. You can literally just type that in on YouTube.
You're biggest on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
You're very big on YouTube. So cool. Any other questions from the audience?
So I'd say, yeah. Question for me: What are you working on now? What's exciting you for the future that you're pushing towards?
Oh, a lot of cool projects. You know, a lot of cool projects. I can't really touch too much on it, but it's just a lot of cool projects I'm working on, and then also, you know, I'm actually working on a lot of cool videos coming up too on my channel too. So you guys definitely got to tune in for that. I think one thing too that I'm working on is I want to do like a scaling account growth for like FunderPro. I think that would be really cool. Just to kind of show people like how you can grow your account, you know, and just kind of work on that. So yeah, there's a lot of cool projects that I got coming up, and I'm excited. I'm really excited for that.
Nice. And so I know you do a lot of other things as well. I know you do a lot of work with music and other artists.
Yes.
So I guess, how do you see that balancing the two? I guess the energy from one feeds into the other.
Yeah. It was pretty crazy because before, when I would have like a bad trading day or a bad week, for some odd reason I couldn't even record music or write music because it was just like the trading got to my mental, and it's just like. But honestly, now it's better. You know, now it's better. The freedom is really the freedom that I have, man. That's the biggest thing in trading. Time management is awesome because now I can spend the mornings to trade, and that's usually what I like to do. And then after, literally around this time, 10:30 to 11 a.m., I'm like, all right, I'm done. And then I'm just doing whatever I'm gonna do. You know, like right now, after this, I'm probably head to the gym, and after that, I'm gonna come back, do a couple more things, back test. I'm right back at it again tomorrow from 7:30 a.m. Central Time, going until about 11 a.m. Central Time. It's like a job, but at the end of the day, it's my time, you know, and that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest. So,
yeah, amazing. So we got a question here. I'm gonna put it on screen. How do you handle the fear of losing a funded account? Does it push you to be more cautious, or do you find ways to use it to take your advantage?
how do I handle losing funded accounts? So let me be really transparent with you guys. So I probably lost, honestly, over 30 funded accounts in my past time, and I'm still doing okay. So me losing these 30 accounts, what it taught me was to just be more disciplined with myself and my actual rule. And yes, it put me in a situation where I needed to be more cautious to follow my rule, because it goes right back to the root. The root is practice, right? If you sit there and you study and journal your actual strategy, your actual setup, you know exactly how much money it can make you, or you know exactly how much money you can lose from it. So when you have that, you can now balance yourself and train yourself to sit here and say, look, I'm confident enough to know that if I stick to this from A to Z, I'm set. And I can go ahead and, you know, do this again and do this again with no problem. So that's kind of one thing I do teach in my YouTube channel. A lot of people know me for flipping accounts. That's kind of how I got started. Even when I started doing my live streams, we did like a $4,000 account to 40,000. So a lot of this that I do is because of me following my plan, and this works in the funded side as well. And you guys just have to understand that when you're dealing with prop firms, you have to stay consistent, because prop firms want consistent traders, profitable traders. So as us being traders, we just have to mainly focus on making sure we stick to our rules and lock in, and then boom, we should be set.
Nice.
Makes sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I think we've hit the end.
Yeah, agree. That was nice. Thanks a lot. Don't forget, everybody, to follow Solo ETV. Go to YouTube, find him, follow him, and thanks once again for taking your time and join.
Thanks so
Appreciate
much.
y'all like
Thanks so
always.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you
a
very
nice
much.
day. Okay, that was great. Look, time is flying. 1 hour. We passed 1 hour right now. Any final questions here before we jump? And don't forget, we have a giveaway. So, what are we giving away? Petrus, Gary, Tim.
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 It's been a while.
Tim.
You can
Tim.
choose. How generous you
On the
feeling?
spot.
What should we give away?
Choose wisely, though.
Why don't we do 2 times 5K, and on the third spin a 10K challenge?
Cool.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Spin the wheel, Tyler. Let's see. That's cool, man. So the first one is a 5K, and okay, congratulations, 5K.
Okay. Nice.
Let's spin it one more time. There's
One
another
more
5K.
5K.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. Congratulations.
Really, congratulations.
And the last one, it's a 10K, right?
The grand prize today.
Very cool.
Okay, Sarah.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well done to everybody. So
Thank
usually the process, the guys will reach out to you. Actually, if you can reach out to us on Discord or on our socials, just identify yourself in those accounts, and we'll be able to issue the account from there.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Cool.
Right.
So,
thanks so much, everybody.
Yes. Have a
Thank
good
you,
trading day.
guys.
We'll be back in 2 weeks. Have a good day.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye. See you.
Bye-bye.